I have sent off an email to our friend Mike down in the United States and asked him if what he thinks this chain is. Is it plated brass or just what? I haven't heard back yet. Maybe we will today by the end of this episode. Maybe we won't. We'll see what happens. Now, as for steps 27 and 28 here, there are, I believe, 33. Yeah, I think it's 33 pieces altogether here that I've nipped off and trimmed and what have you that have to be sprayed. Now, a lot of the parts that we're going to be using, I think there's about a dozen. They're already made up, like these little mushroom vents. Now here's some mushroom vents that have to be painted that are just a different size. There's 6 of them. These winches, they're already made up from a week ago. Now, what I want to talk about though is these things here. And they are extremely fragile. And I was thinking of, using Andy's photo etch bender here to bend them, but I don't know. I've got another idea here. I'm going to readjust the camera and we'll talk about it. My voice is bothering me a bit this morning. I don't know why. Anyway, if you will remember, when we did the photo etch railings on the Bismarck, we had really good luck with the Stynylrez Gray, which is this one right here, sticking to the brass and not chipping off when we were bending the railing to whatever shape it needed to be and so on. And I'm just wondering if possibly I should do the same thing with these. Paint them first and then bend them. Yeah, and like I said, I was thinking of using Andy's bender here, but maybe we won't do that. Maybe we'll just take this and you know what? I think maybe what I should do is put them in the ultrasonic cleaner, because if I remember right, we did clean the photo etch railings before we sprayed them. I do believe that was going to make a difference, because when you touch it with your finger, and I have been touching these, you get a little bit of grease on it. Well, then even this primer is not going to stick as well as it will on the bare pristine metal. So I'm just going to go ahead and run these through the I'm having trouble this morning, aren't I? The ultrasonic bath. I'm not going to show it. I'm probably not going to show painting, but we'll take a good look at these after they're painted. Oh, maybe I should say. So how am I going to paint these? Do I stick them down on the double-sided tape or something like that to hold it down, and then flip it over and do the other side? And I was thinking, no. Okay, let me be careful here now. This little part right here that I'm touching right now is actually a platform. Okay, now there's a top side that you're going to be seeing and an underside, and I'm thinking that if I was to take and fasten with a piece of blue tack on the end of a toothpick or something, where's one here? Okay, it's a good thing that I can cut out the dead spots, because it took me a minute to find this. Okay, so let's assume that this was the underside. I could stick it on like this, and then it wouldn't matter if I didn't, spray right there really, really well. Then I can handle it, get it sprayed. I can spray both sides, and then later on, after I take the blue tack off, then I can just take with a brush and touch up where the blue tack was stuck on, blocking the paint. Yeah, that's my thinking right now. We did hear from Mike today, and you can actually read the comment yourself. It's in the comments from yesterday's video. And, he has put a little video on YouTube about this pen that he made from that monkey pod wood that I sent him. I'm just going to play a little bit of it here, and you get an idea of what it's all about.
I can't remember when I first decided I wanted to make pins. You know, I been a jeweler for so many years, I didn't realize how much fun a guy can have with different projects. And, you know, years ago, pins were a big item in the jewelry store. You went to a jewelry store to get a fine pin for a gift. Don't see that much anymore. Well, there you have it, Ron, a completed pin. I hope you enjoyed this little video I made. And once again, I wanted to thank you for the monkey pod. And it was a real treat.
Now, it could be that you're thinking to yourself, I could care less about turning a pen. Well, turning pens is of interest to me because I am a pen turner. I have turned hundreds of pens over the years. Well, I guess in the last 5 years anyway. In fact, I did a lot of that right up until the big clock project. Anyway, I'm just thinking that possibly some of you might like to watch Mike turning his pen. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to Mike's video in the description of my video today. You know, where it starts off and it ends up saying something about this is not a tutorial, that description. Well, you just click on the read more and scroll down, and you should find a link that says Mike's video. Now, this video only lasts about half an hour. It doesn't go mind-numbingly on and on and on like my videos do, so you can get through the whole thing in about half an hour. You might find it interesting. Yeah. Okay. About 3 or 4 hours has passed now. And I've had a couple of unusual things happen. First of all, I could not get the Stynylrez to spray properly when I was trying to paint these ladders. What was happening was it would spray for maybe 2 seconds and then it would stop. And I cleaned the nozzle off with the toothbrush. And then it would spray again 2 or 3 seconds and then stop. Finally, I had the pressure increased to 40 pounds and it still didn't want to spray. Bottom line is I gave up on the Stynylrez and I switched to the Tamiya 77 that was thinned out 1/3. Now, I don't know if it was the fact that I did the color change, like I cleaned out the airbrush and everything, and it's possible if I had to put the Stynylrez back in again, it might have sprayed fine. I don't know. All I know is that the 77 sprayed great. So consequently, our little photo etch ladders do not have Stynylrez as planned. They've got the 77. So we'll just have to see what happens when it comes to bending the treads, like the steps, in the right angle and stuff like that, because I have to grab a hold of parts of this with the metal tweezer, and that's what I was concerned about. That's why I wanted to use the Stynylrez. Now, enough about that. I'm missing the F52. I don't know. I never noticed that it was missing until I started to spray. So afterwards, I got all through. I gave up looking for it on the, laying around here. So I checked the sprues, and it's not there. And so I thought, well, that's okay. There's usually extras of this sort of thing, because if you need an oddball number of something, quite often there'll be an extra one of it. But there isn't. There's no extra of these. Now, I don't know if it's going to show up somewhere. I did spend quite a bit of time actually looking around on the model table here for it. I looked on the floor. I checked everywhere I thought it could be. I wasted a lot of time. That's why it's been 3 or 4 hours has passed. Anyway, we'll take a close look at this stuff in tomorrow's episode. So in the meantime, thanks for watching, and check out Mike's channel if you're interested in seeing how he turned that pen. The other hand, you don't have to. It's up to you. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.